tried this foundation once, about a year ago, and it made it on a list, not a very good list. It made it on my list of top 3 worst foundations I've ever put on my face. In fact, it was so bad that I washed my face and put something else on before I left for work that day. But then I was watching my friend Kat at Cat's Eye Beauty. I'll have her channel linked down below. She's wonderful. And she also did not have a good experience the first time she used this foundation. But recently she decided to try it again. I don't know why we do that, but we do. So we're like, oh, maybe it's different this time. And we tried again. And this time she liked it. So she wondered if perhaps e.l.f. had reformulated it. And then that got me curious to see if maybe I would like it too, because I know Andy loves this foundation. So I decided to try it. I was a little shocked at the price tag, not gonna lie. $15 for an e.l.f. foundation seems a little steep, but I'm a cheapskate. Anyway, I ponied up the money, bought it, and brought it home. I'm gonna show you footage of me putting it on and the wear test and that sort of thing from several weeks ago. And I didn't put the video up then because I just was still really conflicted about how I felt about it. But in the meantime, I have come to the conclusion that I am not going to make excuses for foundations anymore. Either they work for me or they don't. And I don't want to have to do all kinds of gymnastics and put on 3 different primers and 2 different powders in order to get 8, 10, 12 hours of wear out of them. Because I have foundations that I can get that kind of wear out of by just putting on a primer, slapping it on my face, putting on a setting powder, and heading out the door. So, that said, stick around and find out if I have changed my mind about this foundation or not after trying it for 3 or 4 weeks. The color I have it in is light 205N, and it says that it has neutral olive undertones, which is kind of interesting. I did buy the one down from this and it was way too light for me, so I took it back and got this one instead. I have prepped my skin really well. I wanted to give the foundation every chance of success. So I cleansed and exfoliated in the shower. I have my moisturizer, all my serums on, my SPF, and then I used the Essence Prime Plus Studio Hydrating Primer. And then just in the T-zone, I used the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer just to kind of blur a little bit in here, but I didn't put it everywhere. And while this has a chemical sunscreen of SPF 30 in it, I do not rely on my foundation for my SPF because you have to use so much to get the SPF that's listed that it just wouldn't look good. So I have the Kiss Me Mommy SPF 50 sunscreen on, and I found out about that one from my friend Tina over at Tina's Best Midlife, and I really like it, so thanks Tina for that recommendation. I am going to put 1 pump of the CC cream here on my palette. One thing that I want to make sure I don't do is use too much because that's going to make it look cakey and not set well, so we're not going to use too much. I have a dampened beauty sponge. This little triangle shape is one that came in a snowflake set that I got in my 800 subscriber giveaway from Andy over at Andy Does Stuff. It's an interesting shape and I haven't really decided if I like it yet, but as a sponge it works really well. So I am just going to dab this on. And then pounce it in. Ditch your basic foundation. This color correcting cream is the only product you need to achieve a natural looking complexion, but with full coverage. A multitasking dream cream with peptides plus niacinamide, known to plump, hydrate, and smooth the appearance of your skin while protecting with SPF, also infused with skin-loving collagen. I have some redness here in my eyebrows, and so I don't normally put foundation in my brows, but because I have this redness, I am actually going to put this here. Otherwise, when I go in with my eyebrow pencil, it just looks weird to have those red spots there. Looks like I got outside the lines or something. So I still have actually quite a bit on my palette. I'm going to build up in a couple of places. I have some redness along my jawline and in my hairline. So I'm just going to use a little bit extra to cover those places. This side actually looks pretty good. One thing I do like about this sponge is it's really easy to get into the corners of my nose. I have actually turned the lights down just a little bit so that you can get a little better picture of what my skin looks like here. And right now, it's not looking too bad. But it feels like it's doing weirdness with these little wrinkles around my mouth like here. I don't normally notice these, but I really notice them right now. Can you guys see them? Like right in here. I know sometimes with the camera and the lights when other creators do that and they're like, oh, look how it's gathering weird right here. And I'm like, I don't see anything. So I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I don't normally notice these little crinkles right here, but they seem to be emphasized a little bit. So we're going to see if when I powder and all of that stuff, if it smooths it out and give it a little bit of time to meld with my skin, and then I'll look at it again. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I can't read the name right now and I don't know where my magnifying glass is, but I will put it up here or something for you. I am going to set this. To give this foundation its very best shot at making me happy, I'm going to use my tried and true powders that I use all the time. The first one being the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder, and mine is in the color Light. I have a clean, fluffy brush that I like to use under my eyes. Give it one last pat and set there. And then on the rest of my face, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me in 05 Fair. And I like to just kind of pounce it in. Again, clean, fluffy powder brush. All right, let me see what that did to my face. Okay, it's not bad. It has gathered here in the corner. I have this downturn, and a lot of foundations gather there initially. I'm not going to ding it for that or anything, but I am going to go back in and dab out that extra right there, and we'll see if it keeps gathering there or if it stops. I am going to go off and put on the rest of my makeup, and then when I'm finished, I'll set with the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. This is my favorite setting spray, and I'll go to a window in natural light. I'll take you outside. We'll take a look at what this looks like, and then I will do a 4-hour and an 8-hour check-in and see if I've changed my mind about the e.l.f. Camo CC cream. I am at the window in my bedroom, so you can see this in natural light, and I think that the setting spray and just having some time to kind of sit on my skin and warm up has helped, and it's kind of settled down. I don't feel like I need to wash my face and start over, so that is a definite plus. The eye look, by the way, that I did, I filmed as a short. If it's up, I'll give you a link in the cards. If it's not, then you'll just have to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I put it up. And so now let's go outside. Alright, I'm going to have to do this quick because it is dang cold out here. I did this eye look for a spring thing, but man, it's cold. So, okay, let's see. I'm going to try to get right into the sun here and close my eyes and get up close. Hopefully I'm in the frame. It's really hard to see. And I will look at the footage later and let you know what I think of it. And right now, oh God, my dog just scared me half to death. Hi, baby. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Huh? Can I see you? Are you in there? Yeah. Hi, baby. You scared me. All right, I'm going inside to have some lunch. It's cold out here. I am going to do the check-in here in the car. It's actually been about 5 hours since I put my makeup on because I was busy at 4 hours and couldn't do it. I am not thrilled with how this is sitting on my nose. It feels like it's all just kind of broken up. It's a little bit worn off on my chin, and it's kind of emphasizing this dry patch on my upper lip. And in addition, I feel like I'm looking kind of shiny for just being 5 hours in. So not the best check-in, but we'll see what it looks like at 8 or 9 hours. I'll be back. I am back. It's been 8 hours since I put the e.l.f. Camo CC cream on my face, and I have been out running around all day with my daughter. We had to go an hour and a half away for a point shoe fitting, and then we went to TJ Maxx, and she got some clothes and I got some kitchen things. I looked at the makeup, and I think it must be broken because there wasn't anything that I thought I wanted or needed. There's nothing that I need, but I didn't even want any of it. So anyway, I didn't get any makeup. After I put this on, before we left today, I asked my husband what he thought of my foundation. He said that he liked it, And it didn't cover everything, but that was okay because my skin still looked like skin, which is what I want. The CC cream does claim that it's full coverage, and I would dispute that. I don't think it is full coverage. I think you could build it to full coverage, but then you might get into it looking kind of cakey on you. So anyway, let's talk about how this makeup looks on my face right now. And I think it kind of looks terrible on my nose. It's splotchy and kind of polka dotted pores. It's rubbed off a little, but I did have to blow my nose. So I'm going to come in really close here. Can you see my nose? It's just kind of splotchy looking. And then I have a little bit of a dry patch right here that it's sort of gathered in. And I have it worn off on my chin. So for $15, I would expect more from this than it delivered. However, if you look at my under eyes right now, they look fantastic. There's no settling, there's no creasing. So e.l.f. has some really amazing products, and then there are others that just don't work for me. All right, it's another day. It's a couple of weeks later. It is not cold today. In fact, it's almost 90 degrees and it's very windy. So we went from cold to summer in nothing flat. But I think I'm finally ready to give you my thoughts on this e.l.f. Camo CC cream. And the reason it's taken me so long is because some days it seemed like it was maybe okay, and other days it was really bad. And so I wanted to try it again and again and again. And honestly, that's part of the problem. I don't want to have to work so hard to make a foundation work. I'm glad that it's still light outside, because a lot of times when I do these check-ins, it's dark and we're just using artificial lights, but I have a hair in my eye. But today I still have natural light to do this by. So let me bring you in close. Okay, so you can see, and I do have highlighter on, so that could be this shiny here. But I don't have any highlighter on this part of my face, and I should not be that shiny. I'm shiny through here, and my forehead feels gross. I don't know if you can see the shine up there, but it feels gross. I feel like if I touch my face, my makeup is just going to melt off onto my hands. And then if I come in close, look at my nose. Can you see? Let me bring a light over closer. Can you see the polka dot pores? I don't know if you can see them in the viewfinder or not. And then my chin is kind of worn off. It's worn off a little bit around my nose. And it just doesn't look pretty. And it feels yucky. So with all of that, have I changed my mind about the e.l.f. Camo CC cream? Yes and no. Yes, because I no longer feel that it's one of the 3 worst foundations I've ever put on my face. I was able to wear it. So I don't know if that's because this changed or if my skin changed, but I am able to wear it. However, I'm really not able to get more than about 4 hours out of it. And that's just not acceptable to me. I have tried to give foundations the benefit of the doubt, the Relove Serum Foundation, this one, and spoiler alert, coming soon. But why? Why do I feel like I need to make excuses for a foundation on why it doesn't last 8 hours on my skin? I don't. I have an entire basket full of foundations and BB creams that I can use and wear for 8, 10, or 14, sometimes 15 or 16 hours and never touch my face. There's absolutely no reason I need to keep one that I can only wear for 4 or 5 hours. I am going to check and see maybe this will work for my daughter. I know Andy loves this foundation. It's one of her very favorite, but she has dry skin, which is completely different than mine. So that said, let's see if I can put some powder on and see if I can make this work, at least for the rest of the day. Otherwise, when I'm done here, I'm going to wash my face. Okay, I have a Rimmel Stay Matte loose powder here, and I'm going to see what happens if I blot. And then powder. Oh, I think I just powdered my contact. Oh, my bangs are so long. Normally I would just take a scissor to them and chop them, but I want them to stay long because the play that I'm in, opening night's in 2 weeks, and I'm doing like pin curls, 1930s, and I need them to be a little longer for that. So they're just going to drive me crazy for 2 weeks. But I do think that that helped. Let me see in my 10x mirror. Yeah, it even helped my nose, and it smoothed out those polka dot pores. So I actually could get a few more hours worth of wear out of this foundation if I powder it. But I don't want to have to mess with my face. I don't want to have to worry about what it looks like. And like I said, I have foundations that I can go 14 or 15 hours and not have to do anything. So this one is going to be decluttered. I just did a great big foundation declutter. I will put that up in the cards if you want to see it. And I've also done my eyeshadow palettes. And then I just finished filming, but have not yet edited, my primers, powders, and setting sprays. So if you want to see that, make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are turned on. So the fact that this is $15 and only gives me about 4 or 5 hours worth of wear is really the biggest problem, because this guy, the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation, easily goes 8 or 10 hours and it's only like $6. So yes, please, and no thank you. So this one's going in the declutter bin. I'll find a new home for it. I know that it's not a bad foundation. It just doesn't work on my skin. If this video was helpful for you and you enjoyed it, please give me a like. If you want to keep hanging out with me, I'll put a video right there so you don't have to go looking for one. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye-bye!